Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Let me know how things are going. I appreciate those of you who've been asking questions, letting me know in Google Classroom or sending me emails. Keep doing that. If you've got questions, let me know. I want to help you as much as I can, even though we can't see each other. And let me know how it's going with all this stuff. I know it's getting a little bit more difficult, especially some of last week's stuff. Some of this week's stuff looks pretty hard as well. But let me know if you have questions. I'm happy to help. But let's look at this week's stuff. So this is page 103. We're still talking about systems of equations, but we're looking a little bit more at story problems. So this says the Ocean View Hotel rents beach chairs for a rate of $20 a day, plus a one-time fee of $20. Beachside Hotel charges $30 a day to rent chairs. All right, so we can start there. No questions though. So the second part says, for how many days will the cost of the two hotels be equal? Provide your answer by writing a system of equations, solving, creating a table or graph. All of these questions this week, table, graph, solving them, whichever way makes sense to you, do it. I'm going to solve it because I think that makes it a little bit easier. So we got to start with our equation. So Ocean View sells it for $20 a day, so 20 per day, plus that one-time fee of $20. Beachside, on the other hand, just charges $30 a day. So we've got our two equations. So we're going to try and solve these. So remember, when we're looking to solve a system of equations, all we're going to do is just set them equal to each other. So 30d beachside. We want to know, when does that equal, what was it, Ocean View. So when does that equal Ocean View? So if we solve this, just remember, draw our line, minus 20d. Same thing to both sides. We get 10d. 20 left on this side after we cancel those out. So 10 times 2 is 20. So on day 2, they're exactly the same. Now, be careful what the question says, because the question says, for how many days will it be the same? It's only the same for that one day, just on day 2. So on day 2, they're the same. They're only the same for that one day. They're both going to be, if we were to figure that out, if we were to plug that back in, 30 times 2 is 60. So they would both be $60. That kind of gets to the next question, where it says, how could you use this solution to plan your beach chair rentals? We know that on day 2, right, they're the same. So anytime after day 2, if we think about it, for beach side, day 1, if we plugged a 1 in, would be 30. Day 2, 60. Day 3, 90. If we looked at Ocean View and we plug the same numbers in, after day 1, 1 times 20 is 20, plus 20 is 40. 2 we said already would be the same, so it should be 60. 2 times 20 is 40, plus 20 is 60. And then day 3, if we did the same thing, would be 80. So what that tells us, right, if I'm just going to rent it for one day, I want to rent it from beachside. If I'm going to rent it for more than 2 days, I want to rent it from Ocean View, right? So when we're looking at this, that's how we're using our systems of equations to find out some things. We want to look for they're equal. One is cheaper before that point. One is cheaper after that point, and it'll switch. That day 2 doesn't matter which one we go with, because they're going to be the same price. So whichever one has nicer chairs, I guess. The last thing just says, if they change it to 40, beachside keeps their normal rate at 30. How does that change? It's just going to change when we run into the same price. So it's just saying how, so we don't need to do any math with this, just that it's going to shift our numbers around a little bit. Hopefully that made sense. I know this stuff's a little bit confusing. Please let me know if you have questions, and I will do my best to answer them. See you all later.